Well, there we have it. Ange Postecoglou has been sacked from Spurs. And do you know what's even more crazy? On this day, 2 years ago, Ange Postecoglou was announced as the new manager of Spurs. 2 years on the day, he is no longer the manager of the football club. I've got the statement here from what Spurs said. This is the statement. They say, following a review of performances and after significant reflection, the club can announce that Ange Postecoglou has been relieved of his duties. Ange joined us from Celtic in the summer of 2023 and oversaw a period of change on the pitch, returning us to the attacking brand of football that has traditionally been associated with the club, while writing a new chapter in our history by leading us to UEFA Europa League glory in Bilbao last month, an achievement that will live with us all forever. We are extremely grateful to Ange for his commitment and contribution during his 2 years at the club. Ange will always be remembered as only the third manager in our history to deliver a European trophy alongside legendary figures Bill Nicholson and Keith Birkinshaw. However, the board has unanimously concluded that it is in the best interests of the club for a change to take place following a positive start to the 2023-2024 Premier League season. We recorded 78 points from the last 66 Premier League games. That is awful. This culminated in our worst ever Premier League finish last season. At times, there were extenuating circumstances, injuries, and then a decision to prioritise our European campaign. Whilst winning the Europa League this season ranks as one of the club's greatest moments, we cannot base our decision on emotions aligned to this triumph. It is crucial that we are able to compete on multiple fronts and believe a change of approach will give us the strongest chance for the coming season and beyond. This has been one of the toughest decisions we have had to make, and it is not a decision that we have taken lightly, nor one we have rushed to conclude. We have made what we believe is the right decision to give us the best chance of success going forward, not the easy decision. We have a talented young squad, and Ange has given us a great platform to build upon. We should like to express our gratitude to him. We wish him well for the future. He will always be welcome back to our home. News on the appointment of the new head coach will be announced in due course. So, yeah, that is the statement from Tottenham. I think Ange actually released a statement as well. I'm going to try and find it if I can, because I know Ange released a statement as well. But whilst I try and look for it, I just my initial reaction to it, I mean, I'm not really that surprised, to be honest with you. And I mean, to be fair, I think that statement is fair enough. Yes, we won the Europa League, which is an unbelievable achievement. But other than that, you can't really base our season on one game. You can't really base it off one game. And you look at the season as a whole, it has been really poor, to be honest with you. You know, for a club like us to be finishing 17th in the league, it's nothing but embarrassing, really. You know, 22 losses. And just reading that then, from the start of the 23-24 season, 66 points in 78 games. That is so bad. That's actually so bad. But anyway, I've found Ange's statement now, and it's actually, I might cry. But yeah, this is the statement from Ange Postecoglou. He said, "When I reflect on my time as manager of Tottenham Hotspur, my overriding emotion is one of pride. The opportunity to lead one of England's historic football clubs and bring back the glory it deserves will live with me for a lifetime. Sharing that experience with all those who truly love this club and seeing the impact it had on them is something I will never forget. That night in Bilbao was the culmination of 2 years of hard work, dedication, and unwavering belief in a dream. There were many challenges to overcome and plenty of noise that comes with trying to accomplish what many said was not possible. Hashtag the media. We have also laid foundations that mean this club should not have to wait 17 more years for the next success. I have enormous faith in this group of players and know there is much more potential and growth in them. I sincerely want to thank those who are the lifeblood of the club, the supporters. I know there were some difficult times, but I always felt that they wanted me to succeed, and that gave me all the motivation I needed to push on. It's important to acknowledge the hard-working people at Spurs who gave me the encouragement on a daily basis. And finally, I want to thank those who were with me every day for the last 2 years. A fantastic group of young men who are now legends of this football club. The brilliant coaches who never once doubted we could do something special. We are forever connected. Aldura S. Factory. Apologies if that's pronounced wrong. Ange. Mate, that bit at the end though. That bit at the end is fucking amazing. I tell you what, big up Ange for an absolute class statement. But just like I was saying, you can't really define our season on one night. Yes, we won the Europa League, which is an absolutely unbelievable achievement, but to be losing 22 games in a season, finishing 17th, our lowest ever Premier League finish. Like, it's unacceptable. And yes, like I said, we won the Europa League. And people will say, Zach, we won the Europa League. But you got to remember, we finished 17th. And let's look at the table. Let me look at the table. Premier League. Let's have a look at the table. Let's look at the table if it loads. Come on, load. Here we are, look. So think about it. We finished on 38 points. Leicester, the team below us, finished on 25 points. So we, Tottenham Hotspur, we finished 13 points above the drop. 13 points. I mean, that is horrific. We finished 13 points above relegation. 13. That is actually so bad. It is bad. It is bad. And I mean, you're probably thinking as well, what if I was Daniel Levy, what would I have done? And I know so far in this video I've kind of been slating Ange and that, but to be honest, like I said, throughout the season, and you would have known if you watched the match reactions throughout the season in the Premier League, I would have been like, Ange out, Ange out, Ange out, Ange out. But I think a lot of Spurs fans will agree, that night in Bilbao, it kind of did that in our brains. It was like, oh, we've won a trophy. Ange has won us a trophy. Do we have him for another year, or do we sack him? And I literally tweeted this as well. I said that if I was Daniel Levy, I'd give Ange the first 5 to 10 games of next season and see what happens. If he starts good, keep him on. If he doesn't, then you sack him. That's what I would have done, in my opinion. And obviously, Levy hasn't done that. He's decided to sack him. And yeah, and just speaking of Daniel Levy, by the way, and obviously I know there is a lot of divide about Ange. Obviously, most people wanted him to stay. Most people think it was the right decision to sack him. But either way, everyone is still fuming. I think if Ange would have stayed, I think people would have been still annoyed at Levy. But Daniel Levy, I mean, for the last 24 years, he has been the owner of this football club. Like, and every Spurs fan will agree with this. Ever since we lost that Champions League final in 2019, we have not come back since. We haven't peaked. I mean, literally, I do not get this board one bit. It makes no sense. Mauricio Pochettino got us to a Champions League final. Then we sack him. We bring in Jose Mourinho, who gets us to a Carabao Cup final. We sack him 6 days before the final. After that, we brought in, I think it was Nuno. I mean, Nuno was terrible, so he deserved to get sacked anyway. After Nuno, we brought in Antonio Conte. He got sacked because he was speaking the truth about the board. After him, that's when I think we got Ange. Because I think we got Stellini. He got sacked because obviously Stellini was still part of the club, and it was Mason. And obviously the season finished, and then we had Ange. And then Ange goes, wins the trophy, and gets sacked. Like, I don't get it, really. I just don't get this ownership at all. You can get this team to the final, you can win this club a trophy, and wherever you finish, Levy won't be happy, and you'll still get sacked. And I just feel like Daniel Levy just doesn't give a bollocks about the club. He doesn't care where we finish. He doesn't care what we win. And literally, our motto is to dare is to do. Ange Postecoglou dared, because obviously he said, I always win trophies in my second season, mate. And he did. And he did it. To dare is to do. He dared and he did. Literally the two things in our motto Ange Postecoglou did. And Levy still sacked him. So, like, it makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Like, seriously, I just think the only thing Daniel Levy cares about is money. I don't think he cares one bit about this team. Seriously. He doesn't care. Like I said, you can win this team a trophy, or you can win this team a trophy, you get sacked. You can finish in the Champions League positions, you get sacked. It makes no sense, and I just want Levy, just for once, please, for once in your life, just back a manager, back him. Literally, look at Liverpool when they first got Jurgen Klopp. That team was an absolute mess. They were winning nothing with that team. But what did Liverpool owners do? They backed Jurgen Klopp. They made signings. They improved the team. They went from doubters to believers. They won a Champions League. They won everything pretty much. Arsenal with Mikel Arteta. 5 years ago, Arsenal fans wanted Arteta to get sacked. 5 years ago, Arsenal fans wanted Arteta to get sacked. And yes, I know Arsenal haven't won a lot recently. But in trusting Arteta, Arteta changed them from being an absolute banter club, I mean they probably still are, to challenging for the league. And that's what you do. Like, if you actually back a manager, it will eventually work out. And that's what Levy doesn't do. Levy does not give a process, time. If you want to have a process, you want to have an end target, you've got to give it time. And he hasn't done that. This is now, I think, our 6th appointment since that Champions League final. This is now going to be, I think it's our 6th or 7th appointment since we lost the Champions League final to Liverpool. 6 or 7 managers in 6 years. That's pretty much a manager a year. That is pretty much a manager every year. Like, make it make sense. This man, Daniel Levy, he is awful. He is one of the worst owners ever. And no wonder everyone is calling him to go, because he needs to realise, and the board need to realise, that they are the problem. They are the people that are killing this football club, the minute by minute, second by second. And even now, yeah, you've got the transfer window is currently open. Well, the mini window is open. You got Arsenal are doing business. Well, they're trying to do business. You've got Manchester United doing business. Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, they're all improving their team. And we've just decided it's taken Levy 2.5 weeks to sack Ange, and knowing Levy and knowing the board, they probably won't even sign anyone. We'll be with this exact same team, and plus as well, we're in the Champions League. Like I've even said it, I think after the Brighton game, we cannot go into next season, especially with us playing Champions League football. This team we have currently got will get absolutely obliterated in the Champions League. I can tell you that for free. This team that we've got will get absolutely obliterated in the Champions League. Whoever the new manager is, this team will get obliterated in the Champions League. And it's so important that we need to sign players. Seriously, get the new manager in. And the minute that announcement is made, we need to go in for players. This team needs improving. It is so important for us to go into the transfer market and buy some fucking players. Because if we don't, we will probably get relegated. And I'm not even being sarcastic. If we do not buy anyone, we will probably get relegated. And that's embarrassing. If we actually get relegated, then Levy has to go. You cannot stay as owner as a team like us to be playing teams like Millwall and Stoke and Coventry and Derby in the Championship. Like, really? Come on. Come on, man. But yeah, anyway, that's enough about ranting about Levy. Who do I think the new manager should be? Who do I think should take the job of Tottenham Hotspur? Who should I think should be the new manager of Tottenham? Obviously, I mean, let's actually have a look at the odds. Let's have a look at the odds. Let's have a look. Tottenham manager odds. Here we go. Let's have a look. Here we go. Odds checker. Here we go. So we got the favourites. Well, let's do the top 10 favourites. So we got, oh, for God's sake. We got Thomas Frank, Marco Silva, Iraola, Xavi, Kieran McKenna, Scott Parker, Oliver Glasner, Pochettino, Roberto De Zerbi, and Carlos Corberan. Bloody hell. I mean, I could tell you now, Corberan, no. McKenna, what's going on with my voice, by the way? Corberan, no. McKenna, no. Parker, no. I don't really want Marco Silva, to be honest. Glasner, I mean, to be honest, I think most Spurs fans and expect it. Most Spurs fans want and expect it to be Thomas Frank. To be honest, I think for me, I don't think Marco Silva will leave Fulham. So for me, I think it's between Thomas Frank, Poch, and probably Xavi, in my opinion. I can't. Iraola won't leave Bournemouth. There's no chance. If we get Glasner, amazing. I mean, maybe because Palace could get kicked out of Europe. If they get kicked out of Europe, Crystal Palace, maybe there might be an opportunity then to get in Glasner. But for me, I think the man I want right now is Thomas Frank. I want Thomas Frank. When I watch Brentford play, and to be honest, I really like Thomas Frank as a manager. I think he's a really good manager. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to win games. He knows what he's doing. He nearly got Brentford, who a few years ago were in the Championship, into Europe. That's an unbelievable achievement for Brentford. And seriously, Thomas Frank, for me, is a really, really good manager. I like his style of play. He's very passionate on the sideline. I know I wouldn't mind him. If we can get Thomas Frank, I think that'd be really good, in my opinion. I mean, Xavi, he's all right, but I'm not convinced with Xavi, in my opinion. Look how he did at Barca. I mean, yeah, we did all right, but it didn't really work out towards the end. So I'm not really convinced by Glasner. And of course, Pochettino, Mauricio Pochettino. Do I want Poch to return? I mean, I wouldn't mind Poch returning, but you probably think at the same time he's surely going to be focused, because obviously, if you don't know, he's the American men's national team manager. Of course, next year's the World Cup. So, I don't know, surely he'd be focused on that. Would he want to be with USA in the World Cup, or would he want to bin off USA and come back? I mean, obviously, most of us Spurs fans would love Pochettino to come back and finish off the business he didn't complete. But I think for now, we have to put guns out for Thomas Frank. I think the man to take over for me is Thomas Frank. Like I said, I like him as a manager. I think he plays really good football. And he's done really well since he's been at Brentford. And I mean, Brentford fans would really do not want to lose him. But, I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like Levy's been speaking to Frank. It looks like the board have been speaking to him. Whether what he thinks about coming to us, I don't know. But I think the man to take us into next season is Thomas Frank for me. And you never know. Thomas Frank could win us a trophy. He might bring us back to where we are. Who knows? But yeah, for me, I'll go Thomas Frank for me. But yeah, of course, whenever the new manager is announced, I'll do a video on it. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. It's been a long one. And once again, thank you, Ange Postecoglou, for all the memories, especially that night in Bilbao. Thank you and goodbye.